The world is full of places to explore, but the best journeys, they start with a pour. England, Mexico, Finland, America, Israel, France. Every sip, another passport stamp. Ready to get lost again?
What's up, and welcome back to another episode of the Black Shirt Bourbon Society. Hey, did you bring your passport?
Oh, of course. Absolutely. Here we
I
go.
got mine because we're going to need them today because we are doing the Whiskey Tour of the World Book 3. We're going on an adventure.
Absolutely.
Adventure is the name of Book 3, and we are going to England, Mexico, Finland, USA, Israel, and France.
Oh, what a tour.
Oh, yeah, a great tour. Let's do some drinking. So number 1 in book 3, but technically 13 in our list of all of the things that we've been doing, is Fielden whiskey out of England. It is mixed of malted rye and unmalted rye and wheat, which we really do like that wheated bourbon. So I think this is going to be a really good flavor. It's double distilled in both pot and column stills, and then put into American oak barrels as well as some ex-wine casks. So it should probably give it a little bit of a fruity note to it. So
absolutely.
Let's get into it.
So definitely on the color, maybe a rich gold type color there, a little bit darker than some of the other ones we've looked at.
Yes.
Ooh, on the nose, definitely some sweetness with some apples there.
Oh, yeah. There's a huge sweetness.
There is. You know, also maybe some baking spices there as well.
I mean, it is a rye.
Yeah.
So.
Ooh, that rye. That's good.
It's forward, but doesn't burn the whole way through.
It doesn't. I would definitely say the finish is very short. The rye is definitely prevalent, but there's almost like a butteriness to it as well.
Yeah. And I think we've had that in some of the other wheated products that gives it a little bit more of a full flavor.
It does. You know, it's definitely the baking spices there. And definitely a little bit of that sweetness to it as well. A little bit of caramel, maybe a little bit of the apple, but
the apple's more nose than palate.
It is, absolutely.
Yeah.
But a very short finish.
Very, very short finish, agreed. Yeah. No, that's a good one. And it's darker than most products that we've seen from the UK.
Yeah.
Which is surprising. So I guess maybe where it is in this part of England maybe has a little bit of a more harsher climate.
And I'm not quite sure that we've tried a rye out of England before.
I don't think so. I mean, we've had Scotch, we've had Irish, and have we had any actual English whiskeys?
I don't think so.
I don't know. We'll have to go back and check on that. We'll report back. But, I mean, again, Gravity Drinks has not disappointed in the first 2 books, and they're starting off very well in 3.
Yeah, I think this is a great start to our adventure.
So we'll be right back with number 2. So up today for number 2 is all the way from Mexico. It is Destilería Ebodega Abasolo.
Great job on your Spanish.
Gracias.
De nada.
That's it. That's all I know, unless I'm drinking tequila. That's a story for another day, though. So they use a 4,000-year-old cooking process that they process the corn by soaking it in lime water in an alkaline solution. And then they roast it and then mill it in a tortilla mill. So we're drinking liquid tortilla here. Maybe if we got some malarkey salsa vodka and mix them together, we could have ourselves a whole fiesta.
Oh, absolutely.
But it's kind of cool. I mean, 4,000-year-old process for cooking the corn. It should give it a very unique flavor. So it is 86 proof.
Yep.
And let's talk about it.
Yeah, so 86 proof, lighter than our last one. So golden straw, I think.
I agree.
For the color. Oh, definitely forward with that corn. There's a lot of toffee flavor on the nose as well.
Yeah.
And maybe a little bit of a green tart apple.
Yeah, there's a slight sourness to it. Yeah.
So it's definitely corn forward, slight sweetness with some honey there.
I was going to say honey.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. There's a vanilla to it.
There is.
It's mild, though. On the nose, it kind of comes across a little bit like a Scotch. Like there's going to be a smoky peatiness to it, but it doesn't drink like that at all.
It doesn't. I would say maybe this corn is slightly smoky, just slightly.
Because it's roasted?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm.
But yeah, no. And the finish, again, is pretty short.
Oh, super short. Doesn't linger whatsoever. Mm. But there's a touch of a spice to it. Like a white pepper.
Yeah, I would definitely say there's a peppery finish to it.
Mm-hmm. Mm. That's good.
Yeah, that is real
That's
good.
real good. Yeah. All right.
2 for 2.
2 for 2 and off to number 3. So up next is a whiskey from Finland, from the Helsinki Distilling Company. It is a rye malt. Yeah. We're all about the ryes in this pack, which is always a good thing in my opinion. But it's a mellow Finnish rye using only the best malt, rye, and barley. It is a small batch distillery, handmade and matured in perfectly selected casks. I think that they used some American virgin oak, which everyone knows is some of the best for whiskey. So let's get into it.
Yeah, so this is going to be 95 proof. And I think one of the cool things about this distillery is the plant where they do the distillation process actually was a power plant.
Oh, that's cool.
I think for like 30 years. And then they ended up having it be a soap factory, like a meatball factory, car wash, and then a wine cellar. So it's gone through a lot of different things before doing this distillery. But kind of back to looking at it. So if we look at the color, maybe that pale straw.
Oh, it's very light. Yeah, pale
very
straw for
light.
sure.
If I'm not mistaken, I think this is aged for 5 years.
I think you're right. Yeah, yeah.
So very strong vanilla on the nose, as well as that rye.
Mm. And I think you're getting that malted, that, and I don't want to use the word fermented in a negative way, but when they malt it kind of like, starts to let it grow a little bit, and then they roast it off, and it has a little bit of that malting smell.
Yeah, it does. So I would say that malted flavor is more prevalent on the palate than it was on the nose.
Very much so.
But I also get some dried fruits, maybe some figs, maybe some pears.
Yeah.
A little bit of vanilla. There is definitely that sweetness to it.
Yeah.
Maybe even a little bit of caramel. But again, the finish is really short.
Yeah. Yes, it is. Yeah, I agree with the caramel. There's a slight bitterness to the end, like a dark chocolate, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah. Again, not bad. Maybe not my favorite so far, but I would drink it.
Yeah, no doubt. But definitely good flavor. Again, definitely the rye side of it, but that malted rye.
Yeah, malted rye is a completely different creature. I like it. So back to the USA. We're kind of home for a little while, I guess we can say, and we are in Breckenridge, Colorado.
And if I'm not mistaken, I think we've actually had a couple of their products in the Flaviar Advent calendars.
I think both years we've had
it.
Yeah. So we know it's good. We've enjoyed it before, and we've definitely both want to go to Colorado and go out to the distillery and give them a try there and see what other offerings they have for us. Which I'm ready for a trip.
Distillery at 9,600 feet. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So it's the world's highest.
I think
distillery. Yeah. But wasn't corn in Peru grown at 10,000 feet?
Ooh, that's true.
But maybe the distillery's under 10,000.
Yeah, maybe.
Corn's grown there, but it's under. So Breckenridge is a high rye, which again, this whole book is pretty much rye. So I'm eating this up. They have a 43-foot continuous column still. You know, that's a monster, and that would be so cool to just to watch distilling. It is 86 proof, so it's a little on the lower side from some of the others that we have had in this book, but let's give it a try.
Yeah. So a little bit darker, maybe like a burnt amber.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
Yeah, burnt amber. Oh, you get that. There's definitely an oakiness on the nose.
Yeah.
As well as a little bit of sweetness with maybe like a honey.
Yeah, but there's a fruit too, a slight apple.
So I get some tea.
Oh yeah.
Definitely get the tea. Some oak, vanilla, but I think that tea is more forward than I've seen with some of the others.
Yeah, yeah, it is.
And a little bit of that spiciness as well.
High rye.
Yeah, it's still high rye.
Mm-hmm.
It almost is like a black pepper, not white pepper, but black pepperness to it.
Mm-hmm.
But again, another fairly short finish.
Yeah, a little vanilla, not super crazy vanilla, a little bit there. But yeah, you're right. The finish is just so just.
It's interesting that all of these so far have been pretty short finishes.
Yeah. Well, we have 2 left, so let's see how the other 2 stack up.
Let's keep drinking.
So this is an area of the world that I would have never expected a spirit to come out of, and especially a whiskey. So I'm very excited to get into this. So M&H Distillery out of Tel Aviv, Israel. They use bourbon casks and red wine barrels that they shave, toast, and rechar. So I guess it pulls some of those tannins and other flavors out to reuse the barrel, but just leaves enough. So it does have a very light and balanced characteristic, but it is going to drink like a classic single malt. So let's see what it is.
So it's going to be 92 proof, lighter on the color. So golden straw.
Yeah, I'll take golden straw.
Golden straw on there. Israel's first single malt distillery. So that's pretty cool. It is interesting, and I think this is probably part of the fact that it's light is it's warmer over in Israel, so I don't think you're going to get the same contraction that you do where you have the areas where you get the significant temperature differences.
Yes, I agree.
So definitely a sweetness there. Some definitely floral notes on the nose.
For sure. Yeah.
Some vanilla sweetness as well.
Oh, that's so light.
It is. It's very light. Oakiness, forward on the oaky.
Some honey.
It's definitely some honey, a little bit of caramel. You know, maybe a little bit of a slight black pepperness to it.
A little bit, but it's still so mild.
It is. It's very mild. I would say that the finish is longer on this one than it has been on the other ones that we've had so far.
Yeah.
Yeah, that oakiness lingers there, but it's much more delicate than the other ones have been.
Yeah. This is definitely a neat or rocks whiskey.
Yeah. I think that this has more of the complexity than we've seen in some of the others.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
There's almost a hoppiness on the tongue moments later.
See, I just still have that a lot of the oak.
Okay.
There.
Yeah, I'm getting a little bit that florally.
Yeah.
Yeah, the oak is definitely there though. Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, definitely a nice one coming out of Israel.
Okay, so we are down to the very last one, and we'll be right back so you guys can see how it goes. So the last stop for today.
Number 6.
We are headed to the coast of France. in Brittany. This is the Waringham Distillery and the Armagnac Classic. So it is a double distilled in copper pots, non-chilled filtered, which that's something different. A lot of people do a chill filtering. And of course, the color comes from the cask, and they use ex-bourbon casks. So, we talked about this before in past videos where, the barrel trade back and forth across all over the place. So let's give it a shot.
Yes, so 92 proof. It is so much lighter.
Oh, yeah.
On the color. It is definitely that, like maybe pale straw.
Yeah, I'd say pale straw.
Yeah, it definitely is very light. The nose is, there is a fruitiness. Definitely a complexity. There are some grains there. Mm-hmm. A little bit of spiciness to it. And almost like some fruitiness, but not the normal fruits. Maybe like a mango-ish.
Oh, I don't get that, but yeah, but you're right. It's something. It's not pears. It's not apples. Ooh.
So there's a lot of pepperness to it on the forward on it. A little bit of spice or a little bit of sweetness with maybe some fruits.
Apricot.
Okay. Yeah, I can get apricot.
Mm-hmm.
I might even get a little bit of sweetness from peach.
Yeah, I can get down with that.
But this is the longest finish that we've had today.
Yes, and
very peppery finish.
Minerally.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if I'm digging the finish.
Yeah, it's very strong on the. I get the pepper.
Yeah,
just seems like it's very peppery finish.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean,
not your favorite of the bunch so far.
Not my favorite of the bunch. Yeah, I mean, it was still I loved the drinking. The finish was definitely not something that I was too thrilled about. It's still there. But.
So we've done volume 3 now.
Yeah.
And we have volume 4 to go, and I think that'll be next month.
Correct. Yeah.
So Gravity Whiskeys of the World they've done a great job. Gravity Drinks.
For sure. And I think what we should do after we do book 4 is we should just put out a review of maybe our top 3.
Yeah.
What was the top 3 that we liked? And have you done the Gravity Books World of Whiskey tour? Let us know in the comments what your favorite one has been if you have drank this, and we'll all compare notes and see what works out. But I think that wraps up this episode. So do you have anything else to add?
No, I think this has been a great tour. I mean, all over the world with this one.
I definitely agree with all over the world. I'm glad that we had our passports with us. That's for sure. But so don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Until next week, this is the Black Shirt Bourbon Society. Drink well.